Yes, hello beautiful people. This video is about dealing with anger and boundaries. Because I discovered that feeling angry and boundaries is something which is really related with each other. I sense since I became a mother that sometimes I felt so easily angry because for me I had a certain idea or a certain program, and maybe if you have kids most of the time things go different than as expected. So it's something where I really feel like very easily sometimes that I'm getting annoyed, angry, and I discovered through a video of Gabor Mate, I will also share it in the link below, about anger, that anger is something which is happening in the moment and which is something which is very healthy. Because anger helps us to set our boundaries. And we feel angry when we either feel like an emotional boundary is crossed or a physical boundary. And then for me, I also make difference between boundaries which someone else is crossing, and sometimes you might discover you're even crossing your own boundaries, and that's something where you can easily or not easily. It's of course takes practice, repetition, but that's something where we have the most influence on. So today I want to talk about that, your own boundaries, to honor them. Because in this society, or maybe through the way you have been raised, your boundaries has been crossed maybe. Or maybe when you felt that boundary, someone else was saying, don't mind, or you force yourself into something which you don't feel like. I see it already starts with most of the kids when we are young. Maybe you remember when you're at home, there's some food on your plate and you feel already like you feel satisfied, you had enough, and your parents or the one, your caretaker, forced you to eat. Empty your plate, finish what's on your plate. A boundary, but you have to ignore. Your body says no, and you've been forced to eat more than than you feel like. Sometimes I'm using English words difference because English is not my native language, as you might know. So today, about boundaries, I felt I had some inspiration for a video about the influence of your environment. And I was sitting in a restaurant and I was feeling like not making a video right now. And my mind was like, you don't have to feel shy, you better shoot the video now, and so on. And then I realized I didn't take my own boundaries serious. I was forcing myself through something what I didn't feel okay with. So I honored it because I discovered it like I was crossing my own boundaries, and it didn't make sense to force myself in making a video when I didn't feel like, when I didn't feel comfortable. And sometimes it's okay to honor that. For me, it's okay to honor that because it has to do with my own boundaries. And then I can choose in a moment when I really want to expand my boundaries because it is for my own growth. But in this situation, it would have been just pushing. So in this situation, I choose not to cross my own boundaries. Then there was another situation. It might be a long video like this, so you can also pause the video or you skip this part. But I think this example is very clear. I will make another video about the example because I feel the video is going to take too long. So this is another boundary which came up now. I feel like the video is going to take too long. You might not have the concentration. You might have to cross your own boundary. So let's just keep it short. So, lesson for today. Be aware of your own boundaries. Be aware of like when you sense a boundary within, emotionally or physically. So it can be like with food, it can be emotionally like you push yourself into something where you don't want to be. First step is acknowledging, be aware of that boundary. And then as you are aware of it, you create consciousness around it. From that point, you have a choice. If you're not conscious about something, you cannot make conscious decisions. Yes. So the other video, I will share the an example about personal boundaries. which might help you to recognize, to be more in touch with that inner voice, which might not be helpful, and to start connecting with that inner voice, which is you, or what you might define as you. Take it serious. Take yourself serious. And I don't mean it like in a serious way, taking everything very serious, but honor yourself, honor your boundaries, honor who you are. From that point, you can develop self-respect and respect from others. Thank you. Because only when you know your own boundaries, you can set them for others, right? If you don't know your boundaries, who else might know? Okay, thank you. Bye bye. I love you.